Good morning, everybody. There's a clue to where we are today. We're outside the Hendon Grange, which I think technically this area is probably Grangetown. I don't know where the exact boundary is, but we're going somewhere different today. I'll give you a clue. This garage is called the Beach View Garage, and you might be able to see in the distance the North Sea. I've lived in Sunderland for 30 years, and until 3 years ago I'd never been down to this stretch of the coast. It's actually hidden away. There's only a couple of entrances down to the south side of the River Wear along here, because the first part is the docks, which are cut off. Then there's an industrial estate, but if you can go through the back streets to get there, and there's this lane down here which is a level crossing, but there's no gates, there's no warning, so you've got to be careful. As you can see there, keep crossing clear. And that line a few miles up the road is Seaham. And then down there is towards Sunderland. You can see the docks and the port in the distance. I bet there's people in Sunderland who've never even been down here. It's a place I don't really like. It's quite a brutal seafront. It's hard to imagine back in the 1700s, 1800s, ladies and gentlemen would come down here to bathe and take the waters. There's actually quite a few people down here already. It's popular for, I think, lovers and dog walkers probably. As you can see, still the tail end of Storm Bert. When you think you've got Roker and Seaburn, which are like proper seaside resorts, beaches, pubs, shops, restaurants, fish and chips. But here, it's just the North Sea, strong currents, and it always seems to be dark down here. Kids used to come in the summer, not, I think in the 40s, still in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because we're right on the edge of Hendon and Grangetown in the East End, so people would come down, bathe, have a look. I think one of the reasons I don't particularly like this spot, because I know there's so many stories that I've done and read about people who had tragic accidents down here, ships coming ashore. As you see, look, there it is. It's dark. Tide always seems to be up against the promenade down here. So if you can just see in the distance the DFDS ferry coming back to North Shields after being across to Amsterdam. It's like lots of fly tipping down here. I'm gonna walk down here and get down. famous tragedy here down in the 1840s. There was a the Grange School, which was on the site, pretty much on the site of where the Civic Centre was. One of the finest private schools in the north. On Cowan, I think it's on Cowan Terrace. They used to go sea bathing. One October, they went down and the boys got into trouble. I think one of the young staff went in to save them, but all four were drowned. But again, because of the currents, there's been quite a few people drowned on here over history, and a number of people who've actually tragically drowned, heroically trying to save them. I did one story, it's on Facebook, called David and Sophia, about a guy who jumped in to try and save a young girl, but both of them died, and he'd come down here dog walking from up near the Chester Road area. So they tried to send the dog home to try and find out who he was, because they had no identification on him. It was called David Winton, but that's on Facebook, Sunderland History and Memories. It's called David and Sophia, that particular story. I should have had any trainers on. A few people out fishing. Now, have you seen how much debris is up here from the storms? Look, quite far away from the actual sea wall, but look, it's right up here. It's a bit rough still now. So the waves. Better not get too close, actually. As you can see, look how strong the winds and the tides must have been. Look how far up there that debris is. It's quite high up there. There must be massive waves. Oh yeah, I don't like. Yeah, look. Can you see how rough it is? Along there is Rye and Seaham. I think it must be high tide. I think it's getting a bit rougher actually. Look at that. See why I don't like this particular spot. There's quite a few cars down there. There is a car park. That's the entrance from the industrial estate, which is quite hard to find actually. Down that, I think that's the south dock. You can only go so far because of the docks, which is pretty much where those cars are. Oh. So it looks like a big wave coming up here. That. You can see the cliffs, quite soft and sandy down there. There's a lot of erosion. There used to be a steamer which went from Sunderland to London, went at least once a week for several decades. So if you didn't want to get a train to London in like the 1880s, 1890s, you could go by a steamer as a passenger, which took obviously goods as well, and cargoes on it down to London on the River Thames. But on one occasion, the captain mistook the lights for around this particular spot as being in the dock, so it ran aground close to here and started sinking. Thankfully, only one person died in that particular incident. There was a bunch of ladies who were taken off in boats who were quite distressed and in hysterics after the ordeal. I don't blame them. But that steamer, you could actually, it would stop at Scarborough, so you could jump off at Scarborough and wait for it coming back from London. To be honest, I think I would have got the train. It worked the other way as well. You could go from the South Dock up to Leith in Edinburgh if you didn't want to go by train. Right, imagine that on a day like today, going out in that. No, thank you. So anyway, I was just a little visit to, I think this is called Hendon Beach, this particular beach, this area. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy that, please give it a like. If you want to, click on the subscribe button. Thanks very much. Bye.